Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for July 29th, 2020, Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern. We will have a Time for Change Awakening Call. Tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. Suggest you bring something to write with. We have a lot of ground to cover. And I am working on a health call to introduce some new applications. Not quite ready yet. I mentioned that before, but I wanted to make sure we just bring it up again so everybody knows that yes, it is going to be. So I want to make sure I have everything that needs to be at my disposal so I can best explain we're always movement. I've had a couple of people ask about, leaving the body. You say we're leaving the body, then we're not leaving the body, and then we're leaving the body. And so I guess it can become a little confusing at times. One thing is that all of us leave the body every single day. So it's not something that now doesn't mean that we're consciously aware of it, but we do leave the body every day. Usually when we're asleep in that 24-hour period. And that's why some of us, you'll wake up and you feel like you've been hit by a truck. And for no reason, okay? It's not like you did anything different, you had good nutrition for the day and plenty of fluids, and so you went to sleep and you felt like you got hit by a truck. That's because some of us, we stay out of the body a little bit too long. So now you understand if someone were to come back into a body after the body had been regenerated, that's how it would feel. It would take some adjusting because it is the energy that we use to go out of the body. When we're out of the body, we're in our natural state. When we're in the body, we're not in our natural state. This is a temporary housing. No matter if you live 10,000 years in it, if you exist 10,000 years, it's a temporary housing. And because we're constantly looking to move, advance forward, and time is irrelevant when you're in God form or pure consciousness. So your time isn't there. The time is here while we're in physical form. Time is with other civilizations in physical form. But it is not when we are out of physical form. And we have the imprint or the burned-in engram in our brains that basically communicates with us from the standpoint of saying that time is relative instead of irrelevant. And in reality, it is in physical form, but not in pure consciousness form or God form. That's just how it works. And that is why when I talk about being in and out of the body, and a lot of people, I think, misunderstand this, is that we're always going out of the body. Some of us are aware of it. Some of us aren't. We're always traveling, experiencing. Now, if it's your natural state of being, doesn't it make sense that you would gravitate towards being out of the body at times? Sure it would. It's just not prophesized or talked about. Because the only way that it's directed is if people who have NDEs, near-death experiences, and they hover above their bodies and they watch people work on their bodies. And then they come back into the body and they remember a lot of the things that they experienced outside the body. Well, we also leave the body, not permanently. We still are connected, but we leave it on occasion. We can leave it, while it rests, and we can sit outside of it. And you can do a lot of things outside of the body that you can't do inside the body. So you let the body rest, and then you commence to do many other things. I know that sounds a little strange to people, but it is a natural state of being to be out of body. And I think we've been taught that being in body is a natural state of being, but it is not. It is a housing for us to experience life, to experience this existence. That's what it's for. That's why we have it. And it is a wonderful experience. We choose it to be. And, we have a lot of different existence interaction. A lot of us don't correlate it. We don't just, we just kind of, okay. And we're always about seeking enlightenment. How many prophets, at least the ones that put books that we read about, were always seeking enlightenment? Why weren't they interested in experiencing life? Well, they were. Lao Tzu was, who wrote his life story in the Tao, the Way. He was in his early 80s. He was going to leave the body, and then he was asked to write some of his knowledge in a book so he could leave it behind for those who were still in body. So that's why he created the Tao, the Way. Tao means way. So, in a single moment, in one stroke, in a single moment, in one stroke, you can become enlightened. It's not a gradual process. And people think it is. It's going to take forever to become enlightened. But it isn't a gradual process, because enlightenment is not something that you have to invent, create, put together. It's something that you have to discover that it is already there. It is not something that you have to manufacture, because if you have to manufacture it, of course it will take time, but it is already there. And that's Osho. Spiritual enlightenment happens when we are in a state of mind, of no mind. In a state of no mind, where the mind is so calm and at ease that it seems to disappear. Almost like when you're in that hammock and you aren't moving and you aren't thinking and you're just being. It's kind of an analogy. But, you've heard this statement a lot. Being in a state of mind. You were in a certain state of mind when you did that. And this is a state of no mind, where the mind is so calm and at ease that it seems to disappear. And only the witness remains. So when our minds are completely let go of this world and are completely non-attached to everything in it from a place of love, completely non-attached to everything in it from a place of love, peace, and compassion, then, and only then, we are truly free. This is really important. Spiritual enlightenment happens when you are in a state of no mind. This is where the mind is so calm and at ease that it seems to disappear, and only the witness remains. So when our mind is completely let go of this world and is completely non-attached to everything in this world from a place of love, peace, and compassion, then and only then are we all truly free. And our minds are our greatest cause of suffering. And that is what allows us to be liberated from it. It is the great mechanism we need to transcend all thinking and discover the awesome natural state of bliss within. See, we've all been taught that you've got to think all the time. You've got to be interactive and engaged with all of this world all the time. And in a way, many of us are seeking enlightenment, but a lot of us don't know how to. Now, when you want to reach the state of spiritual enlightenment, the first thing you want to do is stop doing. Okay? So you decide, each of us decide, that we're going to reach the state of spiritual enlightenment. And the first thing that we want to do is stop doing. Stop doing whatever you're trying to accomplish in your life for that moment. Stop thinking. Stop efforting. Stop trying to achieve anything for a few moments right now. Just trust this experience. Let go of all your intense inner efforting for the rest of this day, just for today. And relax into your body and realize that in your heart of hearts that you are an infinite being and you will never die. All allow for this one simple truth to be found in each experience today, and then you'll have a dynamic shift in your consciousness. It will occur. Secondly, know that each experience that you have in life is the right experience. How many times have you fought the experience that you have a certain experience that you have in this life, and you argue with the fact that this isn't right, this wasn't supposed to happen, I wasn't supposed to experience this, okay? But know that each experience you have in this life is the right experience. And every lesson we're all here to learn is being provided to us through each life experience. And remember, there is nothing that is by chance. This universe is constantly giving each and every one of us all the consciousness that we will ever need to embrace each experience, and each experience is designed to awaken, enlighten, and empower each of us, you. And when your interpretation of each experience includes the knowing that there is a divine energy who loves and accepts you just as you are, and you can never have a bad experience. How many times have you said or heard someone say, "Oh, I'm having a bad experience," or "Wow, that was a bad experience"? The universe is infinitely intelligent and conscious energy, which is always supporting each and every one of us to awaken into our greatest potentiality. We're crazy spiritual seekers, spending our lives trying to awaken. instead of resting in the awakening. And that is already here now and always, Kathleen McCarthy. Our problems, anxieties, and personal issues are all particles of sand. Take a handful of sand and take one grain of it. Our problems, our anxieties, and personal issues are like those particles, those grains of sand, in between our toes. And depending on how we walk, they either grind at us or massage our feet. And our problems are always our greatest spiritual teachers in disguise. Explore each of them with a childlike curiosity, and they'll reveal themselves as the brilliant messengers that they are. None of us have a greater wisdom inside that simply needs a bit of nurturing and compassion. And if we feel stuck, cannot see what our issues or problems are, then all we need to do is simply practice being grateful for whatever it is in our life now and enjoy it. And if a certain problem or issue keeps arising in any of us, each and every one of us, and will not go away, sit with it. Sit with it. Face it directly. And ask yourself, what is the exact issue that I would like more clarity and understanding about? What is the exact issue I would like more clarity and understanding about? Write it down. Voice it out. Find out what this issue sounds like and talk with this other voice inside you who is creating this issue. Guess who that is? Guess who's creating that issue? Ego mind. And listen. Pay attention to what is underneath the mental chatter happening in your head. It is pointing you towards the divine answer. This is where I think we get confused. Follow it with curiosity and let it show you the way through. Each issue in each of our lives repeats itself because it is unlearned. Why do you think that you'll go over things and repeatedly you'll find yourself doing something similar that you said, I'm not going to do this again, I've learned. But yet you find yourself doing it again. This is why each issue in your life repeats itself, because it is unlearned and it is ignored. Once you pay attention to the wake-up call by realizing the infinite being that you truly are, then your problems will dissolve immediately. And spiritual enlightenment presents itself as your natural state of being. See, for all of us, spiritual enlightenment is our natural state of being. It's not something we need to achieve. It is something that we are. It is something that we must discover and decide to discover within us. And it is a state of pure awareness that is free from the chattering mind and connected with infinite, all-loving, powerful source creator. In this enlightened state, this world is absolutely perfect as it is. And each of us feel, see, and experience the divine order in everything. There is a great, warm love in each of our hearts all the time. And every action in our lives becomes very, very, very easy because our essence is always at ease. This is an awesome state of spiritual enlightenment, and it occurs naturally when we all deepen in our sadhana. Sadhana is spiritual practice. And we are consistent with it. and a constant focus towards the unlimited source of love, consciousness, and power creates a more enlightened, empowered, loving state of being in you. And when we have raised our vibration enough, our mind will relax and see the blessing or the goodness in everything. This relaxation is a state of emptiness where each of us are surrendered to the vastness of this infinite universe. Surrendering is that you flow, you are, and you understand that you're part of this infinite vastness. And supreme states of bliss are available to each and every one of us right now, in this now. So everybody, I think, has been taught that you have to seek, you have to create enlightenment. But the real funny thing is that it's all in each and every one of us. It's just discovering it. And if you walk up to somebody and you say, you know something, I think your mind is your greatest cause of suffering. And it is what allows you to be liberated from it. And it is the greatest mechanism we need to transcend all thinking and discover the awesome natural state of bliss within. Can you see how things have been twisted for all of us in this world? How we have misinterpreted so many things, how we've been taught to continually externalize, be separate from the gods within us. And all the time, all we have to do or decide to do is to begin to learn how to embrace the God within you, how to wrap your arms around the God, how to wrap your arms around the pure consciousness and give that pure consciousness a full body hug. Head to toe, inside and out. And not to leave it alone. And this is why we look at certain things. Bad experience. There's no such thing. And when you really begin to understand that the universe is infinite intelligence and infinite conscious energy and is always supporting each of us to awaken into our greatest potentiality. And imagine, most of us spend our lives trying to awaken. Think about that. Most of us spend our lives trying to awaken instead of resting in the awakening that is already here and now and always. Resting in the awakening. Resting in the awakening. So, this meditation is resting in the awakening. If you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. And I am sure that we all are. And the first thing that we want to do, is relax our bodies. Does it make any sense to any of us that our bodies need to be stressed all the time? Worry, we have a pain here or something happens here or something. Oh, and then the ego mind, the mind starts, capitalizing on it. Next thing you know, we're creating things that don't even exist in our bodies. It's how powerful we are. when you discover the fact that you're omnipotently powerful, then you begin to understand, well, I got to be careful here. Instead of thinking it's a fairy tale, you realize that I got to be careful here. I know how powerful I am. So therefore, you could go off in one direction and just think about something, and it's put into motion. And you don't even know that because you don't believe that you're that powerful. So relax the body. Drop the shoulders. I can guarantee you, during the course of the day, each and every one of us have crunched shoulders. We stress them. Most of the time, that's where we store the stress, in the shoulders usually. And the reason I know that, and I discovered many other avenues where we store stress, fear, anxiety, remorse. All of these things are stored in our physical bodies. And we don't know that. We think they're gone. Okay, experience that, it's gone. When I was a massage therapist, I found this out and researched it. And they discovered all the avenues of the physical vessel on where they harbor all of these things. The body harbors them. So, relax the body and let go of anything that you may have attracted to yourself in the last 24 hours. Just let it go. And ask yourself this: does this serve me the greater good? Is it a good thing? Is it wonderful? Is it loving and joyous and blissful? No, it's not. So let it go. So then the body responds naturally and it begins to relax. So as we relax the body, just remember, whether you argue with it yourself or not, you are the master and commander of that body that you're in. You are the master and commander. It isn't arrogance, it is heart-mind confidence. So also, as we relax the body, we want to move into the now. What is the now? The now is right in this moment. All of us are in. The now is moment to moment. And when we focus on moment to moment, it does afford us the opportunity to discover the bliss within us and resting in our awakening. The now is not the past, and it isn't the future. We all know that. And we also know, even when we do it, sometimes we have something that sparks us and takes us back in time, takes us back in the past. Could be a month, could be a week ago, could be 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. But it does take us back there. And then we reminisce and we embrace and we reenact it with ourselves. And sometimes we get carried away. And then we visit it a lot because then we're creating more sparks that will cause us to go back into the past. And we just don't realize it. So we're kind of cradled and seduced into it. And then we end up taking it, bringing it into a future that doesn't exist, creating the future from that past and reliving that past in that future. This is why a lot of us will say to ourselves or others, sometimes it feels like I've been running in circles my whole life. So it's not something that it's something we've experienced, so why would we want to visit it again? Memories are great, reminiscing is great, but very briefly, and then move ourselves forward in a healthy, wonderful direction of creating more experiences, more adventures as we traverse this world. So moment to moment, the space between heartbeats, and the space between heartbeats, moment to moment, in the now. What helps us stay in the now? Our breath. are breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. Breathing focuses us on the now, because the breath is in the now. It can't be yesterday, it can't be tomorrow, it's only in the now, moment to moment. So when you catch yourself being in the future, wandering in the future, or reminiscing in the past, you'll know I'm not in the now. So focus on my breathing and I'll go back into the now, moment to moment. I'm not saying it's easy, because we're so used to doing the opposite of that. But in practice, you'll become really accustomed or acclimated to being in the now. And you'll understand it's a natural state of being, the now. We also, as we're all seated in a comfortable position, we want to breath in through the nose and breath out through the mouth. And this breathing, this is divine positive energy, because it sustains our bodies that we're in. And the breath calms us, relaxes us, focuses us. See how important the breath is? Can you imagine if you didn't have to breathe? If breathing is something that you didn't do, think about how you would focus on the now. How would you bring yourself in the now? Everything is finitely engineered to assist us. So we take this breath, visualize it, and we have 7 energy vortexes connecting the spiritual to the physical to the spiritual. And these energy vortexes, called chakras, they're all connected to our glands and organs in our bodies. And they are responsible for a uniform distribution of our chi, or God light energy, or ki, or prana, or light, however you want to look at it or view it or label it. And this literally flows through them. And when there is a disruption in this life energy, or a blockage in any one or more of our chakras, then we may suffer from health or mental issues. So the chakras form the energy ecosystem of every one of us, and a deficiency in this ecosystem can literally wreak havoc in the different areas of our lives. This is how important this is. Know the full spectrum. So we take this divine positive energy, this breath. As we breath in, we pull it right starting with the root chakra, the Muladhara, the I am, the energy, stability, comfort, and safety. So this is a red wheel of light, vibrant red. And then we move up to the orange chakra, sacral chakra, the Vadhisthana. And this is sensuality, sexuality, pleasure, sociability, I feel. Now, as we do this, make sure you keep an eye on the little guy, the ego mind. Because that ego mind will try to convince you otherwise. Then we move up through the yellow wheel of light, the solar plexus chakra, the Manipura. Strength, personality, power, determination, I do. Then through the green wheel of light, heart chakra, the Anahata. Acceptance, love, compassion, sincerity, I love. And then up through the blue wheel of light, the throat chakra, the Vishuddha. Communication, expression, creativity, inspiration, I talk. And then through the violet wheel of light, the third eye chakra, the Ajna, intuition, lucidity, meditation, trust, I see. And then through the purple wheel of light, the crown chakra, the Asra, knowledge, consciousness, fulfillment, spirituality, I understand. Now this divine positive energy has been brought up through these energy vortexes, right up through our spinal column, the center of our bodies. And we bring it right up, just back in the center, on the top of our heads, and we hold it briefly. I am light, I am love, I am. And in that brief moment of holding it, we compress and condense it into pure liquid energy. and we release it over the pineal gland. Now, the pineal gland is a very important organ for us while we're in these bodies. And it is not fully functioning in all of us. And you can view it as a prune, a raisin, a pine cone. I view it as a rosebud, a green bowl. And then when I release this pure liquid energy over it, it immediately blooms into a vibrant, eternal, fragrant, multicolored rose. Healthy, fully functioning as a life form. And the pineal gland is like that rose when you release this pure liquid energy over it. It expands. All of the compression, all of the conflict, all of the stress that's been applied to it through chemicalization is released, dissolved, vaporized, and then the pineal begins to open and become very vibrant and healthy, a vibration of high frequency. Reason is that it is the gateway to all the particles of existence. It's the gateway to pure consciousness, and it's the gateway to beyond. So I think we should really understand that this exercise is very important to reinstate the power of the pineal. Now, we're also, all of us are consciously aware that we are one, that we are merged with the God, the pure consciousness, the spirit, the higher self, the soul. All of this is really one, and pieces that make the one. And we're also consciously aware that we are of and from the highest and deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest and deepest eternal gratitude. Now, we have others with us. We're assembling this massive meditation here in this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now, forming of a circle of light. And so we have the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. Now, this is a civilization that vibrates at a different frequency than we do. This is why we don't see them like we see each other. And there's trillions of them. They've been assisting us since the beginning. We've been helping them. And sometimes they'll appear in humanoid form. You may not know it, but there's something there that's kind of, vibrating with you. And then when they leave, you go, that wasn't just anybody, that was an angel. Remember, there's no such thing as coincidence or happenstance. Everything is finitely engineered. Always has been, always will be. There are no such thing as mistakes either. So, they can inhabit a small area in large number because of their vibrational frequency. And they are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest and deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest and deepest eternal gratitude. And they are with us now. We have the Ascended Masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda Jesus, El Moria, Abundantia, Pell Thought, many, many, many more. And these are those who have ascended out of physical form and hold God form, pure consciousness. We are pure consciousness, God form, that has ascended into physical form to experience physical form, to experience the existence in physical form. They're mastering and have mastered many different things and continue to do so. We're mastering right now in these physical forms in this world. Does it make them any grander, greater, more than us? No. We're all from the same source. And they are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest and deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest and deepest eternal gratitude. We're all gathered, all three groups of us, And we're compelled. We desire to call out to all the other facets, all the other pieces of all of us, all the parts of Source Creator. So we call out to all the light energy beings that in all there is and ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And only those who are consciously aware that they are of the highest and from the highest and deepest eternal love, and of the highest and from the highest and deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, the forming of the circle of light. If our vibrational frequencies were not high, we wouldn't be here in this meditation. Lower frequencies, low dark matter frequencies cannot be with us. The frequencies are too low, unfortunately. This is why we are conscious aware. This is why that we are able to identify the meditation and the purpose of it. Now, they come in the gogoplexes. One gogoplex fills this universe. They come in trillions of gogoplexes from every direction. And they are with us now. You feel them as they come in. We also call upon all of the inhabitants of inner Earth, hollow Earth, of Garta, beneath Earth, many, many, many civilizations, species, only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest and deepest eternal love, of and from the highest and deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us this now in this meditation, the forming of the circle of light. And they are with us now. We call upon all the off-worlders, all the galactics, all the celestials, only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest and deepest eternal love and of and from the highest and deepest eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, in the forming of a circle of light. Now, over 1,000 of them come through the solar system every day. We're only familiar with a handful. Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Zeta Reticuli, and this includes all the species and levels. The Greys, Nords, Feline, Draco, Reptilian. Golden Pyramid, Avian, on and on and on. And they are with us now. We call upon all of our loved ones, all those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest and deepest eternal love and of and from the highest and deepest eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, in the forming of this circle of light. And they come in the billions. And they are with us now. All of these parts of us have been assisting us from the beginning. They've been assisting us in our evolution. They've been assisting us in our enlightenment. They've been assisting us in our evolution over and over again. They've been assisting us in our freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And they are all with us now. We call upon all the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms, on and above and below this planet, Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now, in this meditation, in this forming of the circle of light. There's trillions of them. They come in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations of which many we've never, ever seen before. Only those who are consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest, eternal love, from the highest, deepest, eternal love, and of and from the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle, forming of this circle of light. And just to name a few of them, the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, and the minotaur, and many, many, many more. And they are with us now. And we're all together throughout the universes, all high vibrational frequency of deep eternal love and gratitude, all consciously aware. Arm in arm, hand in hand, all of our gods together. We are all in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness and kindness, generosity and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, abundance. And we are all of and from the highest of the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, of and from the highest of the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. And we are all one, and we are all love, and we are all God. And our God-light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond and forever, and it continues to intensify and it continues to expand. We have formed this massive circle of light from our God energy, source creation. It is so bright that it grays out the darkness of space. And it would take at least a billion of the suns in the solar system to compare to the brightness of this circle of light. It illuminates this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now, in this meditation. It floods and saturates every single one of us. All of our brothers and sisters, all life, the highest value in the universe is together. And it's non-stop. Not only does it affect greatly this planet, but all the planetary bodies in the solar system and out and beyond this galaxy and throughout the universe. We are all connected now in this meditation, so we cover all of it. Begin to ascend above the planet. And as we ascend, we're met with a massive gossamer field of billions and trillions of reflective, glittering light particles of unlimited colors, shapes, colors, and forms. And they're literally saturating everything and everything. This is the deepest, deepest, deepest of eternal love. And it's saturating, flooding, and bathing everything and everything. We continue to ascend, and we're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column that reminds all of us that we are the power of healing. Immediately after that, we're met with the violet, blue, purple, flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column that reminds us of our omnipotent power, our strength, and our resolve. Then we're met with the white fire. This column reminds us that each of us are imbued head to toe, inside and out, with a white fire, godlike energy armor. This is of the highest high of vibrational frequencies, which is the love that created us. It cannot be penetrated. It cannot be disrupted from any external sources. It cannot be hexed. Cannot have anything that can violate it. All the lower dark matter frequencies, all the lower survival matter frequencies cannot affect this armor. They never have and never will. But each of us, only you, each and every one of us have the power that if we decide to step lower and lower in vibrational frequency, and we go deeply enough where we fall into the lower dark matter frequencies, lower survival matter frequencies, we will create a breach in our armor just enough to allow them to come flooding in. Now, you choose to do this, but you're also reminded by the purple transmuting flame. This column comes in to remind you that if you do drop into those lower frequencies, you can transmute them all into neutral light substance with a purple transmuting flame. You can then send them back to pure consciousness where they are no more. You're immediately also met with the violet ray. This column reminds you that you can immediately bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame. And you can reinstate the high vibrational frequency of deep eternal love, therefore re-energizing your field, your godlight armor, the white fire. Then we're met with the golden white pink light. This is a column that reminds us that we are the love. All the sunsets on this planet, all the sunrises, all the reflections in the clouds and the skies, the waterways, the soils. This is the love that we are. And this planet reminds us that we are the love. All of us. So when we're in such awe of such beauty and grandeur and divinity, it is us. It is a reflection of the gods within all of us. Now we continue to ascend up above this planet in the circle of light. And as we do, some of us decide to step out of our physical forms and just float effortlessly above. As we do this, we're immediately met with this massive column, like a crystalline light tower, and we designed it. It's larger than the solar system. And you can see in it, like you would any crystal, but in the heart center, there's this massive beacon, and it continually pulses out. Looks like a massive aura filled with trillions of rainbows. And it's just warmly and softly, peacefully expressing outward, flooding and saturating everything and everything, all life. And at the top of it, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down around 360 degrees, perpetually, eternally. And this golden ocean is the purest and the highest high of deep eternal love and gratitude, of which we are. And it floods and saturates everything and everything. All our brothers and sisters, all life, the highest value in the universe. How can a civilization carrying these gods not ascend? How? It cannot be. Because eventually they will embrace their own ascension. Now at the top we have a golden ocean. The golden ocean cascades down around 360 degrees and saturates, floods, and bathes everything and everything with pure, deep, eternal love. Now all of us are drops of that golden ocean, and we all hold the essence of that golden ocean. Can you feel it? This stretches out throughout eternity. This concentration on this planet is unprecedented. So then we continue to ascend, and we see our meditative sphere. It's that center circle. We created this sphere well over 2 years ago. It is just about to contain 900 meditations from millions of us just on this planet. Not including all those that aren't on this planet. We're in it. Now this sphere floods, saturates, and bathes us all in the love that we are. You can feel it from head to toe, inside and out. And our intent is the purest of the purest, purest high. This is why it continues to intensify and it continues to expand. See it in your heart minds. Feel it. Embrace it. And all of us, every single one of us, we surrender to the vastness of this infinite universe. And we rest in the awakening that is already here and now and always will be. We rest in the awakening. We don't spend our lives trying to awaken. We rest in the awakening that is already here now and always has been and will be. For all of us, everything and everything, in the deepest of eternal love and gratitude. I join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. Breath in through the nose, and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move slowly. Rest in the awakening that already is here now, always has been. It isn't necessary to spend our lives trying to awaken. Instead, we rest in the awakening that is already here and now. Enjoy it. With this now, take it with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. It is your natural state of being. We'll be back here tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern for the Time for Change Call Awakening. And we will return here tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation